Are some of our problems caused because we didn't act in faith? Is true faith seen in action? Let's begin in Joshua 17. Where was the inheritance of the half-tribe of Manasseh east of the Jordan River? Then allotment was made to the people of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. To Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, were allotted Gilead and Bashan, because he was a man of war. And allotments were made to the rest of the people of Manasseh by their clans: Abiezer, Helek, Azriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. These were the male descendants of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their clans. What happened to the inheritance for the 5 daughters of Zelophehad? Now Zelophehad, son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came before Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders, saying, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our male relatives." So they gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers, in keeping with the Lord's instruction. As a result, 10 tracts fell to Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which are beyond the Jordan, because Manasseh's daughters received an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of Manasseh's sons. Did Ephraim inherit some cities within the territory of Manasseh? The border of Manasseh proceeded from Asher to Michmethath, east of Shechem, then turned south to include the inhabitants of En-Tappuach. The territory of Tappuach belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuach itself, on the border of Manasseh, was allocated to the descendants of Ephraim. The border proceeded to the Kana brook and proceeded south. These cities belonged to Ephraim, among the cities of Manasseh, with the border of Manasseh on the north of the brook, terminating at the Mediterranean Sea. What happened to those Canaanites that they couldn't drive out of the land? Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea is his border. And they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Beth-shean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Taanach and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh couldn't drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxen strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but didn't utterly drive them out. What was the complaint of the sons of Joseph? Does God expect us to act, even though our problems sometimes seem insurmountable? Then the sons of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, "Why have you given me only 1 lot and 1 portion for an inheritance, since I'm a numerous people whom Yahweh has thus far blessed?" And Joshua said to them, "If you are a numerous people, go up to the forest and clear a place for yourself, there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you." And the sons of Joseph said, "The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who live in the valley land have chariots of iron, both those who are in Beth-shean and its towns, and those who are in the valley of Jezreel." Then Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, "You are a numerous people and have great power. You shall not have 1 lot only, but the hill country shall be yours. For though it's a forest, you shall clear it, and to its farthest borders it shall be yours. For you shall dispossess the Canaanites, even though they have chariots of iron, and even though they're strong." Is true faith really alone, or is that no faith at all? Can we imagine telling a needy person just to be warmed and filled, but do nothing for them? Is true faith seen in doing something? What did James teach? What use is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone says he has faith, but he has no works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and filled," yet you don't give them what's necessary for their body, what use is that? In the same way, faith also, if it has no works, is dead, being by itself, that is, alone. Are some of our problems caused because we didn't act in faith? Is true faith seen in action? You decide.